There was once a crow who was deeply unhappy with his life. He despised his black feathers and felt he was the most unfortunate bird in the world. No one likes crows, he thought. People don't keep us as pets, they don't admire us, and I have to scavenge for food in the garbage. Why did God make me like this? His sorrow was overwhelming, and he often sat alone, crying, feeling like he was destined for misery. One day, a wise monk saw the crow in distress and asked, "Why are you crying, little crow?" The crow looked up, his eyes filled with sorrow. "Look at me. I'm black, unwanted, and unloved. No one cares for a crow. If I had a choice, I would want to be a swan, pure, elegant, and admired by all." The monk smiled and said, "Before I grant your wish, go and talk to a swan. See if he is truly happy." The crow eagerly flew to a nearby lake, where he found a beautiful white swan gliding across the water. "Oh, swan, you are so lucky. Your white feathers shine in the sun, and people adore you. You must be the happiest bird in the world." The swan sighed and looked at the crow with tired eyes. "Who told you that?" "My white feathers may look beautiful, but people associate white with mourning and sadness. I'm not special, just plain and ordinary. Have you ever noticed that people rarely stop to admire me? If I could be anyone, I'd rather be a parrot, with its bright colors and ability to talk. People find parrots entertaining and special." Surprised, the crow returned to the monk and relayed what he had learned. The monk listened patiently and then said, "Then go, find a parrot and ask him about his life." The crow flew into the jungle, his curiosity growing. He searched for a long time until he finally found a parrot perched on a high branch, preening its bright green and red feathers. The crow approached him excitedly. "Parrot, you are vibrant and full of life. People love you, keep you as pets, and teach you to talk. You must be the happiest bird in the world." The parrot shook his head, his feathers ruffling with frustration. "Not at all. My green feathers blend with the trees, making me easy to overlook. And do you know how many parrots are trapped and caged? People don't just love us, they imprison us. I long to be free, to fly without fear of being captured. If I could be any bird, I would choose to be a peacock. People admire peacocks, and they look majestic when they spread their feathers. They are truly special." The crow, now puzzled, returned to the monk, who nodded knowingly. "You seem surprised, little crow, but your journey is not over. Go and meet the peacock before making your final decision." Eager to find the answer to his questions, the crow traveled to a grand garden where a peacock was surrounded by admiring visitors. They took pictures, clapped their hands, and watched in awe as the peacock spread his dazzling feathers. The crow thought, "Surely the peacock must be the happiest bird." But when he spoke to the peacock, he was shocked by the response. The peacock, instead of looking joyful, let out a weary sigh. "Happiness? You think I am happy? Because of my beauty, I am hunted for my feathers. People take me away from my home, and I live in constant fear. When I hear footsteps approaching, I don't know if they are here to admire me or to capture me. You, my friend, are the luckiest bird. No one hunts you, no one cages you, and you have the freedom to fly wherever you want." The crow was stunned. He had spent his entire life comparing himself to others, believing he was the most unfortunate. Yet, every bird he admired had its own struggles. He returned to the monk, who looked at him with kind eyes and asked, "Do you see now, little crow? The happiest creature is not the one who appears to have it all, but the one who embraces his own life." The crow lowered his head in thought. "I never realized that each of these birds had their own struggles. I thought happiness came from being admired, from being different. But now I see that each of us has challenges. I am free to fly wherever I please. I am not hunted, I am not caged, and I can live my life without fear." The monk nodded. "Stop comparing yourself to others. You are unique, and that is your greatest gift. The moment you accept yourself as you are, you will find peace. From that day forward, the crow no longer wished to be anyone else. He realized that true happiness comes from appreciating who you are and what you have. Instead of feeling inferior, he began to see his life as a blessing. He no longer envied the swan, the parrot, or the peacock. He no longer wished for a different life. As he soared through the skies, he felt something he had never felt before: freedom, joy, and gratitude. The world around him seemed brighter, not because it had changed, but because his heart had. He had stopped comparing, and he had started living. And from that moment on, the crow was truly happy.